Coming up now on Animal Outtakes, 'tis the season. We're celebrating the holidays here at Donte's Den Foundation. And we're introducing you to some incredible dogs who are the heart and soul of this sanctuary. Join us as we reflect on quite a year and hear more about what's in store for the future. Plus a look back at some of the incredible people and pets we've met along the way through Animal Outtakes. This and much more straight ahead on our annual holiday edition of Animal Outtakes. The holidays can be a time to give thanks and show appreciation for the blessings in life. A moment to appreciate the little things that really bring us joy. And for me, it is this place, Donte's Den Foundation. From a young age, animals brought me comfort and hope, and I was always interested in how they could impact us as humans and how we could coexist for a better world. I knew I wanted to make a difference in the lives of animals, and for me, dogs were it. My late husband and I created Donte's Den more than a decade ago as a safe haven for abused, abandoned, and neglected dogs. The dogs no one wanted. The dogs other shelters would not accept. Even the dogs who were destined for death row. And since I have a background in classical music performance and television broadcasting, I developed the concept of a TV show called Animal Outtakes. A way for me to spread my message about this wonderful foundation here in Mayaca, and a way to bring you stories that need to be heard. This show has given us a chance to showcase some unique and interesting animals and tell their story. We also focus on the devoted people who have dedicated their lives to making amends with the abused and injured animals in our community. So many nonprofits, foundations, and even young people doing what they can to make a difference. Over these 12 seasons, we have met some incredibly caring people who aren't in it for the attention, and many are hesitant to be on camera. And we hope by sharing their stories, others will care and make efforts to do what they can to make animals a priority. Dogs. They give us love, companionship, and they teach us courage and humility. And all of that put together is what Donte's Den is about. Here at Donte's Den, they receive care from our loving staff. And they are touched and they are held and they're told how special they are. They receive top-notch medical attention right here in our own veterinarian hospital. And they play and they swim and they rest in comfort and safety. And we promise that they can live out their days here or be united with a forever family. There are other programs that we have, like our Semper Paw, which is designed for our military personnel who get deployed and don't have anybody to leave their dogs with. We take them here at Donte's Den, and then when the owners come back, they get their dogs. And this brings me to the hallmark of what we do at Donte's. And we call it lifetime care. In some cases, circumstances may not allow us to care for our animals anymore, and we need to plan for our dogs because they can't speak for one another. We have to speak for them. We are blessed at Donte's Den to offer programs like these and to provide the best services and facilities. And we look forward to growing as the needs for our dogs expand. At the end of the day, there is something that far surpasses the brick and mortar. and that's the care. As we end 2024, we are happy to report we have expanded our boarding capabilities to serve the community we take pride in caring for your furry friends. And we're honored to spend the time getting to know them and making sure they're comfortable and safe while you're away. And you know what? It always comes back to this. Donte's Den, just the best place to be a dog. And now we'd like to introduce you to some of the dogs we lovingly call the old timers. This crew has been with us right from the start. Some you may recognize from being featured early on, like Blakey and Sugar. They're like two old shoes together now, but they didn't know one another when they came in. Blakey was the first one that came through our front doors when I opened them. And he came running in and jumped on my lap and just looked at me to say, I'm here. And he has been with us for the full 12 years. And then came Sugar. Sugar had a terrible beginning. She was abused and she was neglected. And there was a time when she was so abused that we didn't think she was going to make it. And we sat with her, with one of the local veterinarians, to get her into a great frame of mind and get her physically sound. And so she came to Donte's Den. She became very special to us, and she adopted Blakey. She took one look at him and she said, aha, this is going to be my partner for life. And so they have remained bonded all of these years. They just have a good time together. And we're so pleased that they are still healthy and happy and with us, just like two old shoes. We're also home to some special needs dogs. And one comes to mind, our precious Neil. He couldn't be happier. He loves life. Every day he looks forward to getting into the pool and running around and just having a good time. The only problem that he has is that he's deaf. And when he came in the front doors, I noticed that something was wrong with him. And he had a brother. And the owner surrendered Neil because she felt she couldn't handle a deaf dog. But you know what? He has turned into the most precious dog. We taught him some hand signals, which he understands. And he loves to swim hours, if he could, in the pool. And he watches us. He watches intently because he knows we're not going to let anything happen to him. And so he continues to live a wonderful life here, a full life at Donte's. After the break, we'll be back with more from the holidays here at Donte's Den.
Every animal that finds its way to Farmhouse Animal and Nature Sanctuary has a story. Some are beyond heartbreaking. But here, we focus on the future. We make sure each animal will spend the rest of their life feeling safe, loved, and protected. To help the animals at Fans, visit farmhousesanctuary.org. Learn more about becoming a volunteer and how to donate. Will you be the one who makes a difference? Donate today to help the animals who call Farmhouse home.
Welcome back. Working at Donte's Den encompasses a lot of responsibilities. So much happens here on a daily basis that it takes a special group to make it all happen. We've got a great team of humans here 24/7 who dedicate themselves to making a life better for the canines. And of course, we don't like to play favorites, but every once in a while, a staff member forms a special bond with one of our dogs.
So this is Rudy. He is a 1-year-old Dachshund mix, and he is absolutely one of my favorite dogs here. I've always had a soft spot for lowriders and he is just friendly with everyone he meets, and he's just a good cuddler. He's a lot of fun, he has a lot of energy, and I love this little guy. I look forward to seeing him every day. At Donte's Den, Rudy gets to have daily exercise, and he gets taken out for yard time and walks, and he gets the best food, and he's loved by really all the staff members. So, it's really just, he has a very special time here at Donte's Den. Especially for social media, he is probably one of the most fun dogs that I get to work with. And he's so good on camera, and he's adorable, and everyone needs a little Rudy in their life. A happy dog instantly makes you happy, and I think that's why pets are so important to people's lives, is because they provide that sort of love and fun that you get when you have a pet. They're just such special parts of our lives, all of these dogs that we work with.
Delilah is a skittish yet very loving, sweet baby. She's 6 years old, and she's a mix of Norwegian Ridgeback and Cur mix. She is a wonderful girl. She will cuddle with you all day long. She draws my attention for her loving personality, where she is right at your feet at any given moment, waiting for you to be like, okay, let's go in the bed. We are going to cuddle all day. But she does have her spastic running zoomies whenever she feels, but she will lay up into your lap all day and smile. It brings, on a bad day that you have, whether it's work or family related, you'll see this dog smiling right at you, and you'll be like, this is why we have dogs. She does get a lot of individual time with a bunch of staff that we do have on campus, so it does give her socialization with different people, and they have their different ways about them. You're a happy girl.
I am a kennel tech, which means I take care of these guys. I feed them, clean up behind them, get to run them, get to play with them. Newman, he piqued my interest and became one of my favorite dogs because he's a hugger. Every morning when I walk into the adoption center, he greets me at his kennel door, and I walk in and he jumps up and he hugs me for a good solid minute. Then he'll kind of lean back and give me a lick, and then he's got to hug me again. They don't care what I look like. They don't care. They don't care. It's unconditional love. You walk in and you treat them with love and respect, and they return the love. It's unconditional. He's been here since the center opened, so he's been here about 10 years. He is a little old man, even though he looks a lot younger than that. He has a heart arrhythmia type issue, but he is very active and healthy, just the sweetest little boy. He loves treats. He knows after I finish my cleaning, I'm gonna walk by and everybody gets a treat. I was told at first to be kind of cautious because he's not always the friendliest with people, but I feel like, he knows when I'm coming and he waits for me, and then I get my morning hugs, don't I, buddy? They absolutely deserve the love. They can't help how they were treated. It's not their fault that they were treated like they were. They didn't know any better.
This is Titan. He is a hound mix. He's a playful guy. I love his energy. I love to do a bunch of stuff. I would say definitely his color is beautiful. I would say if they're an energetic person, say they like to go for runs or something, this is definitely the dog for it. I usually just sit in his kennel. I'll give him some pets, maybe a couple treats, because every dog deserves a chance. They say a dog is man's best friend, so he could be someone's best friend, He would definitely fit.
I help run all of the kennels, so I'm constantly going back and forth through each and every kennel, making sure everybody has been ran and cleaned, and if any of the workers need help, I do that. This is Madison. She is a mix, and she is very special to me. She greets everybody when they come in at the Welcome Center. She's very sassy, very opinionated. If she doesn't want to do something, she doesn't do it, and I love her for it because she has a mind of her own. She is a lifetime care dog. Her favorite treat is actually turkey baby food. She just has a fiery attitude, and despite her being a senior dog, she still acts like she's in her teenage phase, always very opinionated.
Well, I clean up and take care of all the dogs here, depending on which shift I do. But this here is Ollie. I think he's about 8 years old now. He's been with us for quite a while. He's a very good boy. I think he's just got so much personality. He's got a lot of energy. He loves everyone. All the care that we put into them, they really, they understand that we care more about them than anyone else. We try to give them their best life possible until the very end. We're very patient with understanding new dogs and what they like and don't like, how they like to be taken care of, whether or not they like male or females, or other dogs in general. Happy holidays from Donte's Den.
Next up on Animal Outtakes, be inspired. We look back at some of the incredible stories we've had the honor of sharing. Animal Outtakes is now in its 12th season. It's hard to believe that we've been telling these stories for more than 12 years, and we've covered the state of Florida. We even made it up north a few times. And we have had so many memorable experiences along the way. A lot of the people we've interviewed truly put animals first, and they want to share their message with others. Many believe an animal encounter up close. It could change the way you view the world, hoping it will motivate you to take better care of what's left on this planet.
We kind of fancy the idea of, oh, it's endangered, we're going to save the life. But when you're saving the life of those that might be more common, you have to realize at some point those that are endangered were common and then became, endangered or threatened. So what we're trying to do is prevent that from happening in these other species that may not have a problem yet. So it's like, don't wait until it's too late. Let's start saving them now.
I think the horses not only allow for this sense of joy to bubble up, but it gives people a chance to have remembrance of their childhood or their young adulthood. It's just amazing. It's what they do, and the good news is we get to be a part of it.
The reefs are what we call functionally extinct, meaning they're still alive, but they're not going to progress or succeed in the future because they're not reproducing, they're not going to continue to grow. So us getting involved and doing the fertilization, doing the settlement, and then putting them back on the reef is hopefully what's going to keep the reefs alive until it can start doing it at that point.
Could an individual own a sloth if they wished?
Yes, if they did the due diligence and they took the time to get the hours and earn the license and build the facility and go through all the work, and if they had the time. That's the problem where you gotta, as true animal lovers, we have to be careful by judging people that want to have them as a pet, because some of those wonderful people that have them as pets have also ended up being the facility that helped to keep a species alive because they did such a wonderful job. So you got to be careful to say no one should ever have an exotic animal as a pet. Well, that's a hard thing to say because a hamster's an exotic animal. A gecko's an exotic animal.
Yeah.
So I personally, I can't agree with that. I think that if they're wonderful people and they love animals and they're going to give them a great life, I think it's a wonderful thing. If you love and care for these animals the way they deserve, they're very intelligent. They figure that out. And they know that we come in every day, rain or shine, to be there for them. They figure out that they love us for that.
There's so many things that we could do to really help wildlife, and what our goal is to try to really, get out in the community, in your local communities, and get out to some of the underprivileged areas where the kids really don't have the opportunity to come, and try to spark that next generation of conservationists. That's what the bus is all about. It's about bringing this to you and letting you see birds like Charlie and Carmen really up close and personal, and just understanding that the love that not only that we have, but we want to share that with others, and the passion for wildlife. We're in a preserve right now that this land was donated to Audubon by the Feltz family, and this serves as a real haven for birds, migrating birds. There's migrating birds in this preserve right now that we never see in our yard, and it's here because it was preserved. So it's important to preserve land and really to talk about conservation in general, and how even though we maybe are coexisting with them, there are a lot of things we can do to help the animals and help the birds and help everything down to insects. I would also remind everyone the insects are the bottom of the food chain, and that our food supply, human food supply, is dependent on them.
I know that it can seem like the birds are taking up a lot of beach because so much of the beach is closed, but it's for them to be able to lay eggs, raise chicks, and survive essentially as a species.
And this is the third call that I've got, either from law enforcement or from a family member this year, where people have passed and left their birds. I would say they're big, they're loud, they're messy, but they can be one of the most loving birds there is. But you have to tailor your life around that bird. Your life is no longer your own. It's the birds. And they deserve that because they're such intelligent beings. They're like a small child. And it's your responsibility to take care of that bird like you would your own child.
This one definitely stuck out to us. The fact that somebody would shoot a duck with a crossbow just for fun and then leave them to die, which she didn't do. She lived with this in her neck. We have pictures of her. I actually still have the arrow. But yeah, the idea that somebody would just let that happen really stuck out. It is a living being. I mean, every living being should have a right to live out its life. And for it to be tortured and then just left like that is just unfathomable to me. It does deserve to have some kind of respect, some kind of dignity. I just wish more people would see that. Yes, it's an invasive species by Florida law, but it's still a species, it's still an animal. It still needs to be able to live its life.
Stay with us. There's more holiday spirit coming up on Animal Outtakes.
Happy holidays from Donte's Den.
Our Mischief. Well, she really rises to her name. She's a 2-year-old miniature horse that we were asked to take, had been neglected, and really needed to be taken care of. So, our mission statement truly says that we take care of all animals. We've just chosen to take care of dogs 99% of the time. However, here came Mischief. And so we thought, okay, we can handle her. But she is, as they say, a pipperoo. She has a lovely temperament, but when she decides she's going to do something, or for that matter, not do something, she lets you know. And right now, poor Mischief lost her stall. Hurricane Milton took care of that. We need to help her find a new barn. And that's something that we will be addressing March 8th on Top Dog. As you know, that is our annual fundraiser. And we need help with all of the dogs. There's no question about that. But Mischief needs a barn. Join us for a Bohemian barn raising. Raise the woof! We here at Donte's Den and the crew of Animal Outtakes wish you a happy, healthy, and very safe holiday season. And as always, We will be back here again next week with even more animals and some engaging encounters. Until then, thanks for watching.